Quick video here. Always say that, mean it this time. Just heard about some stuff with FieldCraft Survival, Valhalla VFT, whatever his name is doing an interview with them. Apparently what he has been told contradicts what I have been told. So I have been told recently that FieldCraft Survival's plan is to sell what they have remaining in stock, sell the remaining merch, and call it quits. Now, I'm not telling you that that's what's going to happen, but this is an opportunity to explain some things. Stick around. Hey guys, I'm a little bit late on my intro for February of 2025, but if you enjoy this content, please check out the description box below. We have Exodus Knife and Tool, my own knife brand, made in America by White River Knife and Tool with a no questions asked lifetime guarantee on standard options. Beach and Tactical, where I hand make custom by order rifle slings and other gear that I designed while in Afghanistan. And there's a Patreon and other crap like that in the description box below as well. I do not have a pre-order shirt or hoodie for this year. Things did not work out time-wise for that, but that will come later. But I do have product in stock at ExodusKnifeandTool.com, and I am always open for custom orders at Beach and Tactical. Let's get you right back to the content. So I didn't really intend to do this video. I'm out here just getting old firewood, actually from last year. It needs to get picked up or else it's going to get ruined, and I'm going to have it under a tarp for quite some time before I can use it this year. But anyways, so I want to explain a couple of things. I like going into stuff like this because it's a good thought exercise. I want to make clear that at this point I'm not saying anything bad about Valhalla VFT or about FieldCraft Survival itself. However, ideally, a company like FieldCraft should have seen the light with Mike Glover a long time earlier, because the dude is an absolute dirtbag and is fairly well known as just being a Fed asset for propaganda. The dude has all of the typical personality traits that we see from Evan Hafer and Tim Kennedy and all of these wankers, and he has a slew of skeletons in his closet behind him from people in his absolute trash training classes shooting themselves or getting shot and getting swept under the rug. His incident with his beating his wife that was allegedly just an overreaction while she was postpartum, that may or may not be true, and now hit with him beating a child. Okay, so this is your Mike Glover, your Tim Kennedy, your Evan Hafer, all of these guys. This is personality traits that are tractable. I've talked to all of these guys. They respond and they speak in exactly the same way. And what I want to talk to you about is why FieldCraft Survival would want to reach out and talk to Valhalla VFT, how some of these companies going out of business can potentially work, even if they're not going out of business, because I've experienced this before, and I want to explain about how some of this works. But the core here, the core message point is that propaganda or psyops is marketing for an ideal. All right. So if there's one thing you pick up from this, it should be a general understanding. You probably understand vaguely what marketing is. You could watch a couple videos and see that there's potentially some shady ways to do it. You can see a lot of like mind control conspiracies about how marketing could work that are fake. All right. But you can go through the historic, we're not talking conspiracies here, you can go through the historic what you can grab from psyops, what we have done with psyops, what other countries have done with psyops. And as soon as you understand that it is marketing for an idea, a lot of things can become more simple. Now, my experience with a company going out of business was Ontario Knife Company. I was a huge Ontario fan. You guys may or may not know that. But at the latter part of Ontario's existence as we knew them up there in New York, I could tell firsthand as a business owner I could see and know for a fact that they were going out of business. So I did a video about it, of course. Now, I'm not doing a video about FieldCraft going out of business because I don't know that for a fact, and this was just a little bit of information from somebody connected, but that's not always correct. Things change and whatever. If I did know for a fact, I'd do a video about it. But Ontario was going out of business. Their CEO was a human piece of trash, Trobovich or whatever. He should live the rest of his life in shame for what he did to this classic American brand, this Americana, this company that had been making knives for the U.S. military for generations. Just flushing the company down the toilet with expensive trips, dinners, whorehouses, forcing employees to do nasty crap, and just being a general absolute human piece of trash. Once I did that video, the industry got a little bit wild. A couple of your big knife distribution centers, I don't remember which ones. I don't remember if it was Knife Center or Blade HQ or DLT or who it was, were reaching out to me like, where did you get your information? I put it there in the video, man. It is what it is. That's where I got my information. I laid it all out in the video. But Ontario reached out to me directly and they were like, hey, we are not going out of business. Please take down your video. I did not take down my video, but I did do a follow-up video saying maybe they aren't going out of business. I was new. I didn't have as good of an understanding on how all of this works at the time because, well, I guess I hadn't been out here doing this for 10 years. And quickly, when I say doing this, I'm talking about YouTube. Before YouTube, it was military stuff, and I worked a little bit with ODA, with PSYOPs, with civil affairs, and I was an infantry guy doing a scout's job connected to the S2 shop on the ground. So bizarre little freaking career path there, okay? But anyways, so when you understand that PSYOPs is marketing for an idea, you can better understand why some of these dirtbags, which we are so wonderfully able to see just publicly crash and burn right now, why they existed and how. Because if you add it up for a lot of these guys, it doesn't make sense. Overnight, just like that, these guys are on Fox News and they're a household name and their book is a New York bestseller. That's not so much the case for Tim Kennedy. He did have his stint with the UFC, so at least he had a little bit of background in something that made some kind of sense for having the position that he had. But a lot of these other guys don't have that. Just boom, overnight, Fox News, household name. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that for businesses, Montana Knife Company. It doesn't work, Black Rifle Coffee. It doesn't work like that for people. When you see individuals get to this point, generally speaking, you'll have a paper trail. There's always a paper trail. And if it's gone, start asking questions. If it involves mainstream media, start asking even more questions. Now, marketing. YouTube has the highest return on investment for advertising and for working with influencers out of any form of marketing. Nothing touches YouTube, not even close. And the reason is, well, I'm sitting here doing a video, right? I am some guy in my backyard talking about things that I'm passionate about. I'm going and I'm doing shooting classes, I'm doing shooting stuff, and I'm reviewing knives and doing survival trips. And I am on my cell phone, okay? So although people do want a higher level of quality than what I am giving, ultimately, the feel that you get from YouTube is grassroots people sharing their passions, and you get the feeling of authenticity. And that feeling of authenticity, while still being accessible to all of the people, makes YouTube an incredibly powerful tool. So you see massive companies dumping incredible budgets into advertising onto YouTube and on having an influencer on their payroll to be the face of their company. But if something has an incredible return on investment for a company, then it's also going to have an incredible return on investment for an ideology, for a government entity that wants to promote an idea or a concept. And so right now we are seeing a changing of the guard. Black Rifle Coffee's stocks are in the absolute crapper. Tim Kennedy is a freaking joke now at this point, and he's been hounded everywhere that he went online. He has already been hounded for like 3 years, but at this point, it's universal. These companies are disassociating from him. They are publicly shaming the guy in disassociating from him. It is long overdue. I have to do a video on that too, because it's not all completely on the up and up, and it's a little bit disappointing. But regardless, overall, finally, that doesn't mean it's over. What that means is that you're going to have new faces. So when you've got John Lovell at Warrior Poet Society out here talking about Daniel Defense having a new CEO and a new path forward, or Lucas Botkins essentially promoting gun control for the people that we don't like, because why would you want to arm the people who want to kill you? And then getting on Fox News with Tucker Carlson talking about gun control, and then spewing the exact same line word for word as John Lovell. Both of these people know how corporations work, incorporated entities work. So the CEO of the company is the head manager. Okay. The owner of the company is the board of directors. So in the case of Daniel Defense, that's still Marty Daniels, still the same anti-2A dirtbag that we all hate Daniel Defense for in the first place, supporting fix NICS regulations, supporting stricter. He's went out of his own way to say that he supports stricter mental health checks for firearms ownerships, and he supports all of these other things for more strict monitoring and regulation of firearms sales. Oh, I wonder where that could go wrong. And then he apologized later and said, oops, I didn't read the whole Fix NICS bill, guys. I'm sorry. Well, you did specify what you do support. So you didn't apologize for that. You just said you didn't read the whole bill. So John Lovell and your T-Rex Arms boy or whatever, little Lucas, they know this full well. They know that the CEO of the company doesn't own the company, and that the direction of the company is not controlled by the CEO, but they are both sharing the same lie, knowing that it's a lie, because Daniel Defense is rebranding. They're building a new image. And the reason I bring this up is your government dirtbags have talent scouts just like professional sports teams, okay? And so in the military and outside of the military, in the military you have talent scouts. Your chain of command is really harping on this one dude. This is our smartest guy, fastest guy. We need to send him to selection. We need to send him to ranger school. We need to do all that stuff. That's how I got kind of funneled into the military intelligence side of things to some degree, and did some interesting stuff. You have talent scouts in the military, but you're also going to have talent scouts for YouTube. I think that you have it happen overtly and covertly. So I have a lot of people who acted like they were my friends who I've never met, who would send me political information or current events before they would happen, or things that weren't very well documented. Like, man, you need to make a video on this, man. I'll look through it. It all looks good. I've never posted any of it because I don't actually know that guy. I can't verify what they sent me, and I'm lazy. It started out as being lazy, and then when it kept coming in and kept coming in, I was like, someone's putting forth a ton of effort into this, right? Now, someone did that for a channel that under 30,000 subscribers that doesn't really get pissed for views. Guys, I realize I don't get pissed for views. I'm cool with it. I'm good with it. I think I know how I could change it. It would be changing this, right? Changing what I do. But I'm here doing what I do because I love what I do, and I talk about what I need to talk about, and that's it. So I'm not going to change that. But when you get way up in the ranks of YouTube, if you do it authentically, you become more and more valuable to businesses. You know, use your brain. You know this. You know that channels get 100, 200, 500, a million subscribers. They are more and more valuable to sponsorships and to businesses for advertisement because they have more marketing potential. Simultaneously, they become more valuable for PSYOPs. And you know, I talk about this sometimes, guys. Not everybody who's involved in a PSYOP knows that they're involved in a PSYOP. Not everybody who's working with spooks knows that they're working with spooks. And not everybody who's working with spooks unknowingly is themselves a spook, okay? But you have to really be careful, especially if your brand, because that's what this is. That's what this is. This is a brand. As your brand becomes more valuable for sharing misinformation or disinformation, the offers will start coming in, and those offers start involving money and things that you want. And they don't look sus, right? We have a whole system of businesses and assets that are already working together. They can approach these things from a lot of different angles. If you have grown, but especially if you have grown within this sphere of influence and talking about these specific things, if you are known for being the anti-Kennedy and the anti-Glover or whatever else, you are more valuable as the next Kennedy or the next Glover. And there's if you don't have a price, you have a vice. And sadly, a lot of people on YouTube, their vice is attention. It is nothing more than simply attention. So, is FieldCraft going out of business? I don't know. I wouldn't say that I hope that they are. I'm glad that hopefully Glover's gone for good, because the information that he gave was trash anyways. There was no value to the community. Just pure filth and garbage. Estella left FieldCraft. I don't know any of I talked to him a little bit. I don't know any of the why or the how or anything else. And what else is FieldCraft? They don't have a name. They popped up. They got big. They advertised hard. They don't have the reputation of Randall's Adventure Training and Essie. No, I don't know, especially without Estella. I don't know anybody within the bushcraft and survival community who's gone, I don't think, to FieldCraft. I know some Sigma people, and mostly Randall's Adventure Training. So you lose your Mickey Mouse And what do you have left? Because again, the danger of the amount of value that you put in a person like Glover is, if this is the brand, then when you take this away, what do you have left? Really quick, I forgot, the point of a large portion of what I just said is that when a company is going out of business like Ontario was, they still have product to move, they still have some deals to make, they might be restructuring, they might be reshuffling, they've still got employees to pay, whatever the case may be. A lot of times it is prudent for a business to not mention going out of business until the last second, until it's gone, until there's nothing anybody can say about that. So, with this interview, this will not be what I base, things going forward on. If FieldCraft is still here in a year or 2 or 3, then great. Hopefully they grow. However, it makes sense that FieldCraft would want to reach out to someone associated with them in the industry to keep any investors or dealers or anything else from freaking out and withdrawing until they had moved everything that they have to move. So that was part of this whole thing, and what I had mentioned to him, how this all works, why Ontario reached out to me and told me that they were not going out of business, when in fact, very much so, they were going out of business. They were in the process of going out of business. So, quick explanation. Hopefully I throw this in there somewhere where, I don't know, it makes sense. So I'm interested in seeing what the, I guess, new owner, CEO, whatever the heck it is, or he is, has to say about FieldCraft going forward. Again, I don't hope that they go out of business because they are in my industry. They're in my segment of the market. They're an American brand, and I'd like to see them doing good things. They work with a lot of the same people that I work with. When I say something like that, people are like, oh, it's about competition. He wants them to go down because he's working with the same people. No. I like them because I would be more apt to like them because they're working with the same people that I'm working with, because I work with people I like and I want them to be successful. So anyways, hopefully, guys, when I do videos like this, there's nuance. Hopefully you can understand that the video is not about FieldCraft. The video is not about Ontario. The video is not about Valhalla VFT or Tim Kennedy or Evan Hafer. The video is about making things that can be convoluted and confusing more simple, breaking it down to its core elements so that you can start understanding these things, or so that they can be less convoluted, because we live in a really weird world. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope that you have a blessed day, I guess check out the description box below if you would like to in some way help support the channel. So yeah, talk to you later.